Ya Ali Madad, everyone. Welcome to today's lesson on a very important topic, the position of women in Islam. Throughout history, women's roles have evolved, and today we'll explore how Islamic teachings from over 1350 years ago laid the foundation for true equality and freedom. We'll also review the foreword written by Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, Aga Khan III, in the book, The Position of Women Under Islam by Sayyid M.H. Zaidi. It was first published in 1935. Pre-Islamic treatment of women. Before Islam, many societies treated women very harshly. Can you imagine a time when having a baby girl was considered a curse? Some families even buried their daughters alive. But Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, put an end to the inhuman practice, declaring it sinful and punishable by hell. He reminded people of the dignity, value, and honor of women. Roles of women in Islam. Islam emphasizes respect for women in every role. As a daughter's opinion matters. When she reaches maturity, her consent is essential for decisions about her future. As an orphan, the Prophet taught that anyone caring for orphans with kindness will receive double rewards. As an enslaved person, the Prophet instructed people to call them sons and daughters, not slaves, and encouraged freeing them and educating them. As a wife in Islam is an equal partner in her marriage and keeps her own identity. She doesn't take her husband's name. As a mother, even if her children are 50 years old or young, they are not allowed to raise their heads or voices before the queen of the house, that is the mother. As a widow, she has the right to inherit a fair share of her husband's wealth. Islam grants women spiritual and intellectual equality with men. Both genders share the same responsibilities in worship, good deeds, and moral conduct. Economic independence for women. More than 1350 years ago, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, ensured women had economic independence. They were given the rights to own and manage their property. Bibi Khadija is a prominent historical example. Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, Aga Khan III, compared the freedom of women in Islam with that in England, where until 1880, a woman's property became her husband's upon marriage, and she was left at the mercy of her husband. In Islam, women inherit half of what men receive, but this doesn't imply inferiority. Why? Because men are traditionally expected to provide for the family, while women keep their wealth for themselves. Family names and wealth distribution. Family names may pass through sons, but this ensures a fair distribution of wealth. The Imam explains that giving more to sons balance out responsibilities, ensuring that daughters still achieve equality with independence. Contrast this with some European practices where women's property often reverted to their husbands, leaving them without financial independence. Education and equal opportunities. Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah emphasizes the importance of education. He says, personally, if I had 2 children and one was a boy and the other a girl, and if I could afford to educate only one, I would have no hesitation in giving the higher education to the girl. He writes in the foreword of the book, "I have embodied the spirit of the holy message of my ancestors. Education is key to empowering women." Parda and seclusion. The Imam also highlights that seclusion and parda were borrowed from neighboring cultures like Persia, Byzantium, and Egypt. These practices were never part of core Islamic teachings. In fact, they emerged in harsh times when women were treated as property. Islam, on the other hand, came to establish dignity, freedom, and equality for women. Closing thoughts from Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah. In his foreword to the book, The Position of Women Under Islam, Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah acknowledges Sayyid M.H. Zaidi's efforts with these words, "I heartily welcome Sayyid M.H. Zaidi's book and wish it every success." The Imam's message teaches us that Islam promoted gender equality long before many modern movements. He reminds us that both men and women are equal before God and share the same spiritual, economic, and social responsibilities. Key takeaways. Islam grants women respect and rights in all roles: daughter, orphan, wife, mother, and widow. Economic independence for women was introduced by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, long before many Western nations adopted similar laws. Education is an essential value in Islam. Customs like parda were cultural imports, not Islamic teachings. Islam teaches equal responsibility for women and men in worship and moral conduct. Conclusion. Thank you for joining this lesson on the position of women in Islam. It is inspiring to see how these teachings from centuries ago continue to offer valuable insights today. Let's carry forward these lessons of equality, education, and respect in our lives. Ya Ali Madad.